Hey everybody, it's Deanna Fenton, and I'm here today to welcome you to Simple Steps to Online Success. Hope you're doing great. I'm doing really great today. It's the start of a new month, and holy crap, it's June 1st. Can you even believe it's June 1st, 2017? I don't know about you, but this year has flown by. So, hey, if this is your first time joining me and you're watching on the replay, my name is Deanna Fenton. I have a passion for helping the over 50 entrepreneur to overcome any of their tech overwhelm and get them on the path to creating the online business of their dreams in what we like to call the third. You gotta excuse me. I'm trying to be very perky today and it's just not working for me. The third chapter, which, by the way, is a fantastic book that I highly, highly recommend. Let me make sure that I can get it all in there. How about if I hide my name? And there, you can probably see it much better now. Perfect. Anyway, the third chapter. It's Life After 50. So today, first of all, if you have been a regular watcher, I'd love it if you would share this video with the people that you work with or you follow, your friends, your family, especially, again, somebody who perhaps has been thinking about starting an online business, maybe transitioning from working for other people and they're retired or going to retire, they want to start an online business, or even a current business owner that might own some type of product or service-based business, but they want to be able to have the freedom and flexibility of having an online business. This is exactly the place for them. And I normally do talk a lot about different tech and especially about a lot of the tools that are available for the online entrepreneur to be able to reach that greater audience. Today, I'm going to talk about a little different topic, and it's one of those things that I see. I hang out in a lot of different Facebook groups. Again, the online world is kind of my world, so I'm trying to keep, my fingers on the pulse so I can share what I learn with other people. And what I've seen a lot is just an entire pervasive situation where people are extremely overwhelmed. And I mean, honestly, if you think about it, it's not hard to imagine why. I was just making a list because I was thinking through this topic and how I wanted to address this today, was to talk about how many different ways can people contact you right now? It's not just, it used to be email. Well, it used to be the phone, right? Then we have email, and there are books and courses and trainings on how to deal with overwhelm from your inbox with all the emails you get. Then, of course, we have text messaging. Now we have chat programs like Slack that a lot of people, myself included, use to communicate with a team that's distributed out over a great remote area, and it's a way to stay connected. There's Skype, and Skype is one of those things that is also a huge distraction, because my point is, one, there are a lot of different ways that people can try and get our attention, because don't even get me started on social media, right? For those of us that belong to lots of these groups, we follow certain pages, we are part of groups that are tied to online courses that we may take. Every time I go into my Facebook page, my little red circle with notifications is practically in triple digits. So there are a lot of distractions in this business life and in this online world. And the idea of us all being so well connected is fantastic until you are trying to get your shit done, right? especially as a business owner. So I don't know about you, but certainly I focused my goals in terms of some of the things that I wanted to accomplish. And a lot of us tend to look at the year and decide this is the year I'm going to start that new business. This is the year I'm going to launch that online program. This is the year I'm going to fill in the blank. So there is that tendency to do that. So when you hit June 1st and you realize, oh my God, we're almost halfway through the year, you start to take stock and you start to look around and say, what have I truly accomplished? And if I haven't accomplished what I set out to do, why not? So I am bringing this up in full transparency because somebody that I happen to respect greatly and I've followed for the last 2 years is doing a free training right now, and that's Todd Herman. And if you spend any time online, especially Facebook, I'm sure, and you follow anybody who's online, you are going to hear his name and see his face, and you're probably going to get sick of it. And you're going to say, who the hell is this Todd Herman guy anyway? So I want to kind of tell you a little bit about my experience. And part of that, I'm going to start with sharing for you. And this is kind of difficult because we're still we don't have full screen sharing, or at least I don't, through BeLive. But if you kind of look at the top tabs listed here on this photo, this is a screenshot of my Chrome browser this morning. And I don't know about you, but again, I might be a little different because my whole world is online. You can see I have a lot of tabs open. And that is creating a lot of distractions in my mind and a lot of a tendency to not being able to focus. And I've never been somebody that's been diagnosed as ADHD, but let's just say an entrepreneur, you almost have to be in this day and age. And that it's a good thing, but it's a curse and a blessing, right? So one of the things that I have learned as far as working and following a lot of the trainings from Todd Herman is, and this is the project or the training that he's doing right now that I want to talk a little bit about, is this idea of how we are distracted and a little thing he talks about, which is called context switching. So I am going to get into how this all relates to our goals really quickly, but I see if this resonates with you, and I really, really do suggest you might want to subscribe because you do opt in for this video series, but you're going to find that I think you're going to identify with a lot of the message that's there in terms of your working life, your ability to execute on the goals, the projects, the tasks associated with the projects, and being able to systematize your business. So one of the things that with context switching, and this has been proven by numerous studies, is when we are trying to do too many things at once. And it may be a little difficult. I'm going to take a little peek here at my on my page so I can see what you're seeing, to see how it's looking. See whether or not you can actually see that. There's a little grid that he has there on the right-hand side that you can see. And what that says is when we are focused on a single task, if it's one single task one project that we are working on, it takes 100% of our attention. It takes 100% of our attention because there are no other things going on. We are focused on doing that. Now, God bless you if you can do that. I am in awe of you because I have so many other distractions in my work. If it's not answering client calls, if it's not working on a website, if it's not getting that email newsletter out, there are a lot of different projects. So the study has shown that every time we do what is called context switching, we lose 10% of the time that we're devoting to a task, because when you switch between tasks, it takes you a certain amount of time to be able to reevaluate, reformat, and get re-engaged with the new task that you're attempting to do. So by that mathematical formula, which, trust me, not the mathematician in the world here, but if you are trying to do 2 projects at the same time, you only have 40% of your available time to devote to each of those projects, and 20% of your time is lost to context switching. Now, mind you, Todd explains this in a much more elegant way, but I'm just telling you, if you look at this, it makes more sense as you go through. Suddenly, if you're trying to do 3 projects at the same time, you're only spending 20% of your time on each project, and 40% of your available time is lost in trying to switch and get re-engaged with that other project, and so on and so forth. This is probably the single biggest aha that most people who watch these videos encounters, because suddenly it makes sense why you start your day, you start working on multiple projects, and over time you look back and you say, I didn't get anything done. How could I not get anything accomplished on these projects? And the goal, or the situation, is this idea of context switching. So what do we do to get around that? Because obviously we're looking at trying to get multiple projects done. You've probably set your goals for 2017, and you were starting out with your SMART goals. Now you know those, right? Specific, measurable, achievable. Some of these start to get, people have different definitions for SMART. Relatable and time-based. So SMART goals typically are, in 2017, I'm going to increase my email list to 5,000. Or this is the year 2017, I am going to launch a new course and going to sell it to 100 people right out of the gate. And so again, we get in measurable. So you remember all these SMART goals things. In fact, I've got a blog post on my website at deannafenton.com you might want to look at, because I talked about this as well, that SMART goals don't necessarily work. And this is why, and again, these are studies that have been done that say that any goal beyond 90 days is a waste of time. Because if you have a goal that extends beyond 90 days, you increase the level of procrastination. Because you got the whole year to do it, right? You said you were going to do this in 2017, but guess what again? It's June 1st. It's June 1st and almost half the year is gone. Where are you in terms of achieving that goal? And I see this a lot with people who start to do online courses as well. If you signed up for an online course, it's a 6 or an 8-week project. Even that short period of time, if you do not focus on small, measurable feedback loops by creating shorter goals within there, you're going to find out by the end of the 8 weeks, you may not have accomplished what you wanted to. So again, why is a goal longer than 90 days increasing your procrastination? Because if you don't have feedback loops of shorter and shorter term goals, your motivation drops off. And you can have the absolute best of intentions, but without creating shorter, it's like creating goals within goals, right? You need to chunk it down. And we talk about this, everybody talks about this a lot in terms of being able to accomplish things. But then you need that constant reinforcement of going back to those goals, measuring where you are, and then reevaluating and resetting the goals for the next short-term period. So, you know, I just really want to share this with you because I just really think, before I finish, let me just talk a little bit about this, which is, this is another really, really key concept that is discussed in this first video within this free training. And by the way, let me just put up a link. That's a link that you can click on to, sorry, you can't click on that, can you? That you can go ahead. Oh, here, wait, let me stick that baby in I can put that in the chat for you actually, to help you get started in understanding. There we go. Hopefully that got in the chat for you. Yep, it did. So that is the video, link to the first video. There are 3 videos in the series. Excuse me, I think there's 4 videos in the series. It's free training, folks. Take advantage of it. You know he's going to try and sell you something, and that's totally up to you whether you choose to do that or not. But my gosh, take advantage of free training. That's what I do. I mean, and I make time for that. That's one of those things that you want to ensure that you don't let that distract you or overwhelm you. But when there's something that will provide value for you, you make time for it. So this is talking about the business mindset and the concept of the ow and wow brain, which really just talks about how we instinctively have one or the other mindset. And it's not genetic, it's not pre-programmed. You can change your mindset from ow being sort of you are at the victim of, or you are a victim of the external activities and things going on, where a wow mindset is a more positive, focused type of mindset that even looks at setbacks and obstacles as lessons, as opposed to something negative, as opposed to something, oh, well, that didn't work, so I'm stupid and it's never going to work and I just should give up on it, versus a wow mindset that would look at the setback and take it as a lesson and try and analyze why it didn't work and what could be done to make it better. Another really, really great lesson in here. And this is just, I just think this is funny. I don't make goals often, but when I do, they're never longer than 90 days. So I want you to consider that. Would love to know what you think about it, so you can post things in the comments here. Do also want to let you know, if you are interested, there's also a free Facebook group, and this is specifically tied to the launch, so you're going to see a lot of people talking about it. But this is also a great opportunity to hear from other like-minded people about some of the ahas that they're finding and they're seeing. And I don't think I have that image now. I was going to try and show you a screenshot from that Facebook page, but I didn't have time to upload it into the album here. So, but this is just something that I really think you truly, truly owe it to yourself to find out more about. Watch the videos. You know, honestly, you have nothing to lose. It's just something that is an opportunity to look at things a little bit differently and hopefully allow you to get into the mindset of what can I do in the next 90 days to reach my goals. And by the way, if one of those goals is you've been meaning to start that online business and you would just love to be in a community with like-minded people, I really encourage you to check out the Reinvention Revolution and join me on that free Facebook group. That's a closed Facebook group that I monitor. And I'm going to be also talking about this a little bit in that group as well. But we also focus on how we can take, how I can help you overcome the tech overwhelm and get you on the path to getting to the online business that you want. And it's not just for people who are starting out, it's also for people that maybe have started out, but you need to build your platform. You're looking at how can I create a website? How do I get a website? How do I start to build a list? How do I start getting some feedback on what it is I'm trying to sell and start making some progress, as well as those that are looking to grow their business, meaning they have the platform, they have their offers, they're starting to have a list and engaged community that they have an opportunity to market to, but they need to drive more traffic and they need help in learning how to drive more traffic. So regardless of where you are at in that particular that goal, it is the Reinvention Revolution. Don't you just love it when I do things spontaneously? Yeah, I do too. The Reinvention Revolution, and that is on Facebook. And in fact, hang with me, and well, actually, I don't even need to go get the link because it's just facebook.com/groups/the Reinvention Revolution. There you go. So that would be your link, and you can come and join us. Now, I did something, and this is something interesting that I'm going to throw this out. It has nothing to do with your goals in the 90-day year, but just a little tip, and I'm testing this right now, is if you have a Facebook group or you're thinking of starting a Facebook group that is tied to your business or nonprofit or group, any type of group that you're trying to do, if you're focused on a particular area, you know now that you can put some questions. So people who want to join your group have to answer these questions before they can request to join. So I really made mine pretty simple and straightforward, but it's one way to start to get some feedback from people as well. So instead of kind of pre-qualifying people for my group, what I did instead was I wanted to know where they were. Did they currently have a business, or were they thinking of starting a business? I wanted to know what their biggest challenge was right now, because that helps me create content and to create structure within the group that meets their needs. And then I asked them, what are you coming to the group to get? And that's just are they looking for technical support and training? Are they looking for networking? Are they looking just to have a community of like-minded people that they can share with and get support? So that's just kind of how I set mine up. So if you go into your group settings, if you look there, it's going to say under how people can get added to your group. You'll see that there is that section there that you can set up the questions. So just a little tip I would really suggest you try. So check out the first video at deannaf.me/90video1. And I'd love to hear your comments and what you think about it. Again, because I think, especially for entrepreneurs, there are a lot of nuggets in the first video, or certainly a lot of what I would call ahas, where you will probably recognize some of the challenges that you're encountering when you're trying to move forward in your business. So once again, if you have any questions ever, you can reach me at deanna@deannafenton.com. I'm here every Thursday at 12 noon and look forward to talking to you again very, very soon. Hope you have a fabulous weekend coming up and look forward to talking to you again next week. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye.